CNN Politics. Leading House Democrat sues Donald Trump under a post-Civil War law for conspiracy to incite U.S. Capitol riot. Written by Jessica Schneider of CNN. Published Tuesday, February 16, 2021. Former President Donald Trump and attorney Rudy Giuliani are being accused of conspiring with far-right groups Proud Boys and Oath Keepers to incite the January 6th insurrection in a civil lawsuit filed Tuesday in federal court by the Democratic chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. The suit cites a post-Civil War law designated to combat violence and intimidation by the Ku Klux Klan. The lawsuit filed by Mississippi Democrat Representative Benny Thompson in his personal capacity is the first civil action filed against the former president related to the attack at the U.S. Capitol and comes days after the Senate acquitted Trump in his impeachment trial. If it proceeds, it would mean the former president and others would be subject to discovery and depositions, potentially exposing details and evidence that weren't released during the Senate impeachment trial. Thompson points to Trump's words and tweets in the months leading up to the insurrection to accuse Trump and Giuliani of mobilizing and preparing their supporters for an attack to prevent Congress from certifying the 2020 election results on January 6. The lawsuit cites a scarcely used federal statute passed after the Civil War that was intended to combat violence from the Ku Klux Klan. It allows civil actions to be brought against people who use force, intimidation, or threat to prevent anyone from upholding the duties of their office. The NAACP is backing the lawsuit and helping to represent Thompson in court. As part of this unified plan to prevent the counting of electoral college votes, the lawsuit states, defendants Proud Boys and Oath Keepers through their leadership acted in concert to spearhead the assault on the Capitol, while the angry mob that defendants Trump and Giuliani incited descended on the Capitol. The carefully orchestrated series of events that unfolded at the Save America rally and the storming of the U.S. Capitol was no accident or coincidence. It was the intended and foreseeable culmination of a carefully coordinated campaign to interfere with the legal process required to confirm the tally of votes cast in the Electoral College. The former president and many Republicans argued the impeachment trial was unconstitutional because he is no longer in office. Thompson notes Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell's speech Saturday, where the Kentucky Republicans seem to encourage litigation against Trump. We have a criminal justice system in this country. We have civil litigation, McConnell said after voting to acquit Trump. And former presidents are not immune from being accountable by either one. Jason Miller, a spokesman for Trump, said the former president did not incite or work to incite riots at the Capitol. Stop lying. That's
bullshit. Stop lying.
That's not true. Come on, Trump. Be honest here. President Trump has been acquitted in the Democrats' latest impeachment witch hunt, and the facts are irrefutable, Miller said in a statement. President Trump did not plan, produce, or organize the January 6th rally on the ellipse. President Trump did not incite or conspire to incite any violence at the Capitol on January 6th. Giuliani did not immediately respond to requests for comment. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has been briefed on a lawsuit, a source tells CNN. Says Trump's words spurred the riots. Thompson's lawsuit ties Trump's repeated refusal to accept the election results in the weeks after November 3rd to the threats of violence against elected officials like Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, accusing Trump of endorsing threats rather than denouncing them. The lawsuit also alleges that Trump's refusal to directly condemn the Proud Boys during the first presidential debate in September encouraged their violent plans leading up to January 6th. The lawsuit links the hours-long standoff at the Capitol directly to Trump's rally earlier in the day, where the former president told his supporters, "If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore." That is what happened. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
That is what happened. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
Bruh. I remember that. I remember that speech because I was watching the rally, and if you were subscribed to my channel, you remember that I actually live streamed the Capitol riot. I was live streaming it as it was happening. I was giving you a lot of footage that's now banned from YouTube. You can't even find it anymore. There's certain things that happened that I know were kind of fishy. Like, for example, there was a door on the inside of the Capitol that I was told by Carrie from the Digital Liberation, from the Digital Liberation Front. And by the way, on the video cards here, you should see a link to their particular channel. Go and subscribe to them because they have some crazy good interviews. They even got an interview with Ron Kuby of the Chicago 7. Seriously, like the Ron Kuby, like that's insane to me. But that little small channel that no one knows about, they give you amazing content, and they interview lawyers, politicians. I mean, they are basically TYT, but no one even knows who they are. But they're a better version of them because they're not far left. They have guys over there who are far left. They have guys over there who are centrist. They have guys who are far right. They even brought me on at one point. So it's like, again, I want you to understand. you're going to get a variety of content there. But let's move on here. Once again, I remember Carrie from the Digital Liberation Front. She was telling me about there was a door, and I do remember this door because I remember going to the U.S. Capitol. You could only open it from the inside, but that door was swung wide open. Wide open. So Carrie, very good call, because I think some of this was like an inside job. I think there was some people out there, I don't know, Democrats or Republicans, who are working to help these freaking rioters. I guarantee you, these freaking domestic terrorists. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on there. There needs to be an independent investigation immediately. Seriously, I don't know why that wasn't done day one. Day one, investigate every member of Congress, every member of the Senate, everybody there, because there's something fishy there, man. There's a lot of questions, a lot of footage that if I would have put it on my channel, my whole channel would get freaking nuked. Why? Why is that? Why is that there's such a memory hole, and then we try to bring it back up, then they want to squash it down even further? It makes no sense to me. But let's move on here, right? The lawsuit links the hours-long standoff at the Capitol directly to Trump's rally earlier in the day, where the former president told his supporters, "If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore." That is very true. I know I reread that part, but I want you guys to keep that in your mind. Like, again, Trump's pretending like his words have no kind of consequences, and words like that have consequences, man. Trump also said you have to show strength and you have to be strong. Giuliani, the lawsuit alleges, also riled the crowd by continuing to talk about unfounded allegations of widespread voter fraud and told supporters on January 6th, "Let's have trial by combat." Trial by combat. What the fuck does that even mean? You goddamn clown.
Enough from the clown.
You know what that is, right? You know when you tell a group of freaking QAnon supporting, Trump supporting idiots that, right? You know what that's gonna do, right? You know what that's gonna do. Right? Right? But then as soon as the Capitol gets freaking invaded, right? It was Antifa.
Bruh.
It was Antifa.
America, fuck yeah!
It was Antifa. That again, these people raided the Capitol fueled off of the ignorance that they were fed by Donald Trump and his son, Rudy Giuliani, and every other person out there, the Kraken, Sidney Powell, the Kraken. You remember the Kraken, right? I'm going to unleash the Kraken. What the fuck happened to the goddamn Kraken? The Kraken is more like a goddamn squid. A little small ass goddamn box fucking jellyfish, I guess. Whatever happened to the goddamn Kraken? Now all of a sudden the fucking Trump crowd are like, devil, she was never part of the team. Bullshit.
That's bullshit. Stop lying.
That's bullshit. Stop lying.
Nigga, that's that bullshit.
And you know that's bullshit. Come on now. Sidney Powell was definitely a part of that freaking Trump team. There was no question about it. There's no question about it, right? But then as soon as she started embarrassing people and saying silly shit and started losing their lawsuits left and right, and getting the arguments with the freaking Trump team, all of a sudden she's not a part of the goddamn team no more. She is the one Power Ranger, right, that got dropped the fucking fastest. I mean, Zordon just teleported her from the fucking base quickly. Zordon is goddamn Trump. Trump Zordon the fuck out of goddamn Sidney Powell. I no longer need your power. Be gone with you. God damn, man. That is that's rough. It was Antifa. But it was Antifa though. Her at. By the way, guys, that is my new meme. If you want what that meme sound, just let me know. I'll clip it out and I'll give it to you. I'll let you hear it again. It was Antifa. It was Antifa. All right. All right, let's keep moving on to this article here. A lawsuit accuses Trump of delaying delivery of his speech to the crowd at the Ellipse on January 6th, and as a way to give the Proud Boys time to get to the Capitol and overcome the police presence there. Though there is no evidence provided that Trump's speech was delayed or that any delay was intentional. In addition to Trump and Giuliani, the lawsuit names the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers as defendants. Several members of these far-right groups have been charged for their involvement in the riot. The Justice Department has charged more than a dozen Proud Boys so far for storming the Capitol and recently brought conspiracy charges against a group of 5 people associated with the group. DOJ also indicted 3 members of the Oath Keepers in late January, including one member, Jessica Watkins, whose attorney told the judge last week that she believed she was following directions from Trump. Oh my God. But it was Antifa.
It was Antifa.
Her at. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
It was Antifa. Her at. Listen, devil. How do you know, devil? Devil, listen. Now, I know, devil, you was watching the freaking Capitol riot, and it was unfolding, devil. I understand, devil. I saw you. You was watching the live stream, and you live streamed the freaking Capitol riot, devil. You did that, devil. Yes, you did. I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
But, devil, it was not the Patriots, devil. It was not the Wed Brother Americans, devil. I tell you what. All right? I'll tell you who it actually was, though, devil.
It was Antifa.
It was Antifa. Now, Antifa, granted, I will say that there probably ain't even enough MAGA hats online to supply Antifa with that much MAGA hats. But you know what, devil?
It was Antifa.
It was Antifa. Jessica Watkins, she ain't no Oath Keeper. She's Antifa. I bet she's part of Black Lives Matter. She's a Black Lives Matter, Antifa, transgender, transracial, other kin. Why kins? Other kin. See? It rhymes. I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
The lawsuit has been randomly assigned to Judge Amit Mehta, an appointee of former President Barack Obama. Mehta has handled various lawsuits related to Trump's financial records. In 2019, he ruled that Trump financial firm Mazars USA had to turn over records to Congress. He also earlier denied a request from House Democrats in the minority at the time, attempting to get Trump hotel records from the General Services Administration. It's gonna be real interesting to see what happens there, man. KKK statute. The legal underpinnings of the lawsuit could face an uphill battle in court, since the KKK statute has not been widely used. It was specifically meant to provide federal civil remedies for federal officers who were prevented from performing their duties by 2 or more individuals, whether federal marshals in the post-Civil War South, federal judges in the reconstructed lower courts, or federal legislators. University of Texas law professor and Supreme Court analyst Stephen Vladek explained. So once again, man, this is going to be really interesting to see how this turns out. Because I mean, if Donald Trump is not immune to civil lawsuits, because you can sue anybody for anything, but given the amount of evidence and given what Mitch McConnell said on the Senate floor, oh my God, this is going to be really, really interesting. I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
It's going to be the spicy meatball. It's going to,
Give your meat a good
you got to
old
give it a
rub.
good old rub.
That's it.
Nice and hot. Yeah. Harder. Yeah.
Spicy meat.
Spicy meat.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. It's going to be a spicy, because again, civil lawsuits, man, civil judges, listen, there's a preponderance of the goddamn evidence. They don't go by a clear and convincing standard. That's the one thing that I've been telling people over and over again. Civil judges should have to go by clear and convincing standards, but they don't have to go by that. So, you know what? Trump supporters, when I was sitting there saying that over and over and over again, and I was trying to beg and plead for you to listen to me, guess what? You have nobody to blame but yourself, baby.